Well, yeah, welcome to the call this evening. So for those of you who missed last week, I had an epic fail on Facebook Live trying to do a live with Mike to talk about inflation and what that means for our savings and investing, and a light little brush over with crypto. And so I thought it'd be an awesome idea just to get in to do a quick little recap on some of that stuff, because I think it's pretty huge for what we're facing right now in the world of finance. And then after that, we might even hear a little story from someone who's in our team recently, and segue back into me giving you guys a full demo and walkthrough of the software that we're utilizing to trade every day and learn how to invest and take great opportunities in that space. And so, yeah, if you're new to the space and there's a whole lot of stuff you don't understand tonight, that's completely okay. The first time I watched and learned this stuff, we all start somewhere. And that's the main thing, is just knowing where this is headed. The main thing is just to start the learning journey. And so I'm really privileged to be able to introduce you guys to someone this evening. This man is an amazing gentleman. So Mr. Michael Jacobsen, if you could unmute yourself. Mike's got 20 plus years in the financial industry, and has worked with banks and in this space as an educator, educating people all over the planet, vice president for another online trading platform, as well, has written a whole lot of his own content and really understands the space super well. So yeah, Mike, if you can turn on your video, I'd love for you to just give everyone a quick little recap and drop some twos in the chats, guys, to welcome this man, because you're about to get a whole lot of value from him this evening. And so, Mike, if you're there, let's get your camera on. And
hey, so good to be here tonight, and thanks, Ty, for world history. Oh, there we go.
We got you. Awesome, man. Great.
Unstable connection.
You're right. There you go.
Yeah, unstable connection, but no worries.
Okay, we're good. Hey, I can hear you. Awesome. So you take it away, man. I would love for you to just give us a quick little recap from last week, and we'll move from there. Go for it. Thanks,
Brilliant.
Mike.
Hey, amazing to have everyone on tonight. And really, last week we looked at the fact of what inflation is doing around the world. You know, a lot of you guys were impacted by petrol prices, and just the general cost of living has gone up hugely, and that's a result of a whole bunch of things. But what it actually means is it affects our money personally, because all of the money that we make from working hard, day after day, a lot of us tend to put it into savings. The problem with inflation as it increases is that your savings actually become worthless every day. So, for example, if we have 5% inflation, then over 10 years, your savings are worth half as much as they normally would be. So the purchasing power of all the money that you have actually decreases, and you can actually buy less with more money. So it's a huge problem, because obviously all of our talents, all of our gifts, all of our time go into saving for the future, or saving for a rainy day, or preparing and providing for our children, or wanting to finance our dreams and projects and initiatives. But this is actually totally destroying that. So the only way to keep up with that is actually to learn how to invest correctly in markets that are providing good returns. But at the moment, we've got crazy money printing by a whole bunch of different governments. Interest rates have gone up. And so for people who hold mortgages, if they're not fixed, they now have less income, they have less savings because of inflation, and now they have to pay more on their mortgages. Or if you have an overdraft and interest rates are definitely going up, at least 4 more times in the next 2 years, you are paying a whole lot more to cover your overdraft or your borrowing from the bank. Not only that, but in the past, most Kiwis have learned to build their wealth from home owning and real estate. But the problem now is that the average house price in New Zealand is $1 million. And salaries aren't increasing, inflation's going up, the banks are wanting 25%. It's very difficult for a lot of people to even enter that game and start creating wealth in real estate now, unless you move out of a large city and buy in a smaller city. And that would simply be, are you willing to take a lifestyle change? So all of these things really have brought a lot of people to, as well as the COVID crisis, understanding, hey, how can I actually get my money to work for me and actually get over this inflation problem? And the only way to do that is by getting consistent returns in the market. And so I've been trading for about 20 years and worked for a couple of banks, like Ty said. And I started moving into crypto about 5 years ago, and did very, very well, and realized very quickly that every bank in the world, and even to this day, is currently putting tens of billions of dollars into building their own platforms to invest their own money and to invest for their clients. So I've been in this space every day for about 5 years, every bank, every hedge fund, every superannuation fund in the world will be allocating at least 5% of their total assets under management into crypto for the next 5 to 10 years. So at the moment, we're sitting at about $3 trillion market cap. And in about 5 years, that will go up about 10 times. So the entire market is going up about 10 times. Now, just to give you a breakdown of what this means, in the past, for investing, we've only had a number of different asset classes you can invest in. So you can have cash, you can have real estate, you can have stocks and bonds, or you can have commodities like gold, silver, oil, copper, uranium, platinum, things like that. So with the introduction of crypto, unfortunately, there's a lot of negative stereotypes around it. However, it's the first brand new asset class in 200 years. And that's the reason why every major bank and now every government in the world is actually creating digital currencies, because the entire world is going digital. So this is not just a fad, it's not just hype. The returns that a lot of us have got in the last 5 years have been monumental, but there is a powerful shift on a governmental level that is pushing all of society into using digital currencies. Now, not all of them will last. Each of them have their own use case, their own utility. And when you learn how to actually read and understand the value of an investment and get in early, it's very, very easy to outperform inflation and outperform anything that is actually trying to destroy your savings. So for example, you might have heard of the incredible gains of Bitcoin. In the last 2 years, it's up over 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. And yet, even if you invest in real estate and hold that property for maybe 5 or 6 years, you might make 100%. You might double your wealth, but you made 1,000,000% on Bitcoin. Or if you bought another coin, some of them have gone up even more than that. So really for us with IM, it's around providing a structured and streamlined education so people can actually understand what's going on. And obviously, these days, if people want to know something, they typically go to YouTube and they sort of find their way around, how things work. They look at 1,000,001 different opinions. But unfortunately, because there are 1,000,001 different opinions, it's hard to know what's true. So at IM, we have about 200 educators who actually spend all of their time extensively researching different coins and the current space that we're in and teach you how to navigate it. So that's the reason why we've chose IM. And it's a vehicle to actually train you how to use your money to make money. Because each of us have limited time. You only have 24 hours a day. Even if you work more, if you're a builder or electrician, you might be making somewhere between 50 and 100 bucks an hour. But learning to invest in trade, your money actually makes money while you sleep. So you can actually leverage your time by learning how to access the financial markets, which is the largest market in the world. So this is something that's really begun to level the playing field of the lower and middle class, because now you don't need millions of dollars to access the investment field. You can invest with as little as $20 or $100. There's no restrictions on entering this space. So anyone can enter, and it's leveling the playing field for people who can actually move up and create their wealth by themselves. So what we love about it is that it empowers people to take complete dependence of their own finances, not pay someone else, not give their money to someone else, not let the government control how your finances run, and not let inflation destroy your savings, but actually take your savings, put them to work, and get them to actually create wealth for you. So it's a brand new paradigm that we're entering into, and it's education that provides that. And so we're really excited about what our team is learning with IM. We have about 400,000 students globally right now. We have I think it's about 80 or 90 in our team in New Zealand. So it's growing really fast. And what I'd like to do is just share one of our recent students, Russell. He's just going to share a brief testimony of how he delved into crypto and how he found it and how he's been doing so far. So Russ, thanks for joining us tonight. If you can just share how you found the Academy so far and what's been working for you.
Thanks, Mike. Just apologies. I'm right in the middle of dealing with COVID, so got a bit of a raspy voice, but so forgive me. So my name's Russell Peterson. I live in Blockhouse Bay in Auckland, New Zealand, for those that aren't in NZ. Mike pretty much described me in that last 10 minutes. I didn't do so well at school. Wasn't really for me. I fell through the cracks. I thought I was a bit stupid, and everyone was like, "Oh, go and work with your hands, get a trade." So yeah, I did. I've been in the building and construction industry for about 25, 30 years now. Yeah, 25 years. And I started out young, and my dad said to me, work hard and you'll do well. So I did. I worked harder than anyone I ever knew. And I say that with humility, but I knew that if I was going to get anywhere, if I was going to get married and have a house and kids, I'd need to work hard. So I did. I worked really hard, still do. I bought the house. I got married, started having kids. I've got 4 kids now. And yeah, I did. I did everything that everyone recommended. Got a big fat mortgage. And yeah, my mortgage is still reasonably small compared to some people. And yeah, my asset has doubled, but I've worked really hard for that. And it's still not quite lining up with the life that everyone promised me I'd have. Never seem to have enough. And everything goes up in price. So it's crazy. And so for me, I've been looking out for about 10 years now. I've been searching and looking for the next Facebook investment or the next Apple or whatever. And I've been seeing people around me that haven't worked as hard as me, and they've done much better than me. And it's really got me down a bit. And but I haven't given up my search. And one of the things I cottoned on to about a year ago was Bitcoin and specifically, but cryptocurrencies in general. And yeah, I was really skeptical, and I thought, oh, here we go. But looking at the gains people had, and looking at the charts, and having a bit of a dabble, like Mike said, on YouTube, and I heard 101 opinions out there, and I formed my own opinion. I thought, right, now's a good time to get in. So about 5 months ago, I did get in. Every hard-earned dollar I had spare at that time, which is only $1,500, I put into crypto and Ethereum. I bought a little bit of Solana and XRP. So I, put a couple of $100 on each, learned how to set up a wallet, learned the hard way. And everything went down, and I got quite down with it. And I'd check my accounts in the morning, and it'd be down even more. And I knew I was doing something wrong. And the opinions that I got from all these oracles on YouTube weren't helping. And about that time, Mike Jacobsen texted me and said, hey, I know I've always told you to stay away from trading. And he's been quite firm on that. He said, but would you like to learn how to trade? And I was like, yeah, actually, I want to know what I'm doing wrong. So I says, look, I'll give you a month. I'll give it a go, maybe 2 months. And so yeah, I signed up to join the academy. Some of it was just like, whoa, too much. And I had to rewatch it 2 or 3 times. And just keeping in mind, I'm a tradie. I'm used to banging bits of wood together and constructing things. I was a tiler for 5 years. So, I understand things that I can touch and feel. In this whole new world with wallet addresses and transferring and sending and receiving and charts and plotting and highs and lows, I didn't understand all this. But I tell you what, I've soaked it up like a sponge, and thank goodness for getting COVID means that I've been trapped inside and not allowed to work. So I've thrown myself into learning, following every link I can on the academy, watching the live trades. And for me, the real gold has been not just in joining the academy. And I sound like I'm selling it too hard here, but it's true. I think the big thing for me is that the people in this chat here and the people on our group have a Facebook chat. And I don't know how many messages we get a day, but there's a lot of people sharing wisdom and wealth of history, people who have been trading for years, dropping little nuggets of gold. Hey, watch for this high, watch for that low. Have you seen, this one? Have you seen that one? And I kid you not, just in the last 3 weeks, I've bought probably another $2,000 worth of crypto. And that $2,000's probably given me already about $300 at least. The stuff that I did trade in before, a lot of that I've restructured, and it's come around to actually, I'm in the green now, in the black. And so learning to, and I think the big thing for me is learning to not be a retail trader, trading on my emotions and listening for the positive conversations. You can do this. soak yourself in this group and the information you're learning. Don't be emotional with your highs and your lows. Don't let that FOMO kick in and buy things when it starts raging and sell when it starts dropping. And so yeah, I really appreciate the group, and thanks, Mike, for letting me share.
Awesome, Russ. Thanks very much. I appreciate that.
The big thing for me, Mike, is as a tradie, if I can do it, anyone else can, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. Thanks, Russ. I appreciate you sharing. Thanks, mate. When we first start something, it can seem quite overwhelming, and for a lot of people, it's almost like a brand new world. It's like it seems complicated, it seems complex, but most of our students, after the first 2 weeks, they think, "Well, what have I got myself into?" After a month, they're going, "Okay, I'm starting to understand this." After a couple of months, you're like, "This is amazing. This is totally changing my way of understanding finances and stewarding my money correctly." So what I'd actually just like to do is you guys have probably heard about Bitcoin. You've probably heard of what it is. I'm just going to share my screen. Ty, if you can just allow me to share my screen, if I can do that. And I just want to share with you what it actually looks like, because obviously there's a lot of talk going around. What does it actually look like? Ty, if you can just share my screen, is that okay? Just briefly.
Yeah, I've made you the host, and you've got all the power, man. Go for gold.
Champion. Thank you. Awesome. All right, guys. So this is what the Bitcoin chart looks like. Okay, so if you can see that, just type a 1 in the chat box. You can see a chart there. All right, brilliant. So this is what Bitcoin looks like on a chart. And what we learn to do is this chart represents the price of an asset that we want to invest our money in. And this is Bitcoin back in 2015. And if you bought back here, you did very, very well. And this is what any investment looks like over time. For real estate, to make serious wealth, you have to be there for the long term. And with IM Academy, we focus on trading and also long-term investing. Now, if we follow through the chart with Bitcoin, this is what happens in 2017. So we have a huge run-up, okay, massive, massive explosion in price, and it goes up about 5,000% from where we bought. Now, when price goes up, it often goes down. And so there are a number of ways that when you learn to trade, you can actually learn to sell the top, and you can actually sell all the way down. And then there's certain indicators that tell us when demand is actually coming in for an asset again. So there's very clear signals that tell us when to buy. And these are not just haphazard signals. These are based on demand and supply for that particular investment. And so Bitcoin sort of went sideways for a while. And then in 2021, it just went straight up and up and up and up and up. And so it ended up peaking out around $69,000. Now, it seems quite complicated, but what we teach people to do at the Academy is to take advantage of these moves and actually buy the pullbacks in price. So when price moves up and pulls back, we teach you how to buy. And so, for example, from this first red box, price moves up 100% in the next 2 months. This one here, if you bought here, price moved up to the top about 40%. It comes back here. What happens is we realize that there's a lot more demand coming in, and we see that price breaks out of this small pattern here. And so we know that's when we initiate a buy on our investment. And as we leave that for the next 5 months, as price goes up to the next high, it goes up another 106%. So what we're doing is we're looking at the price and value of an asset, in this case, a cryptocurrency, and we're learning to identify when the demand is coming in. So it's like stepping into a river and going with this flow of money. And that's what investing and trading is. So what happens with a lot of people is they get the fear of missing out. And when price is really high, so for example, when price was back here, a lot of people are thinking, wow, it's going to go higher, it's going to go higher. And they end up buying the very top. And then price collapses. So when you learn how to read the market professionally, which is what the Academy teaches you, we teach you to buy these lower places. There are places like in here, places like we just had a few weeks ago down here. And when we learn to buy at these places, we're actually keeping the main principle of investing, which is buying low and selling high. So a number of our guys have bought Bitcoin back here in February. just a month ago. And the gains today are about almost 40% on that investment. So this is actually what it looks like. You identify the demand of a chart and you learn how to trade it. But I'm just going to share one other thing, and this is the power that we have actually of, let's just move that up here. I'm just going to share one more chart, and this is actually the power of compound interest. Now, when you invest money normally, you don't use the power of compound interest. Now, compound interest is when you make a yield or a return on an investment, and then the next time you make the same return, you end up compounding the interest. So Albert Einstein actually said that compound interest was the 8th wonder of the world. And this is the main tools that we use as traders. And this is a really great example. Let's say that you start your trading history with $2,000. So that's all you can spare. And let's say that we teach you to make 1% a day, 5 days a week. So that's 4 weeks. It's about 20% gains per month, every month. Okay, this is normal for a lot of traders. We can make 20% a month. So after the first month, you can see you have 2,400. After the second month, 2,800. But now, because you're compounding by 20%, the interest is compounding as well. So this is something that all investors use. This is something that all wealth advisors use. But you'll notice as we come to month 12, we've gone from $2,000 to $17,000 because your interest is compounding every time you make a trade, 5% a week, 5% a week, or 1% a day. And so if you take 5 trades a week, that's just 1 trade a day, and you focus for 1%, if you start with $2,000, then you make $18,000 by the end of the year. But what about when you get to 24 months? So after 2 years, that's when you really start seeing the power. So you've taken $2,000 to $158,000. That's the power of compound interest. And this is something you can check online. But what about we take that to 3 years? Let's calculate that. 3 years, 1% a day, which is extremely easy for traders who know what they're doing. So after 24 months, you're at 159,000. What about 3 years? It's a pretty big number. So that's the power that we use in trading, is actually compounding our wealth in our trading account. So Ty's just going to share a little bit of the academy. And for those of you who have joined recently, he's going to just go through the back office and show you what it looks like, how we access our educators, how we connect with other people in the community, and the courses that we have. So thanks, Ty. If you can share that, that'd be amazing.
Hey, thanks, Mike. You just got to make me the host again and I can share my screen.
All right, let me just do that here.
I love it. Every time I see you break down a chart, my heart leaps a little bit because I know what comes next. But guys, why don't you just drop some love in the chat for Mike? He has got so much experience in this space, and yeah, and our team chat appreciates them a whole lot. So if you can, I'm still seeing your screen.
Yep.
So see if
second. All right.
Here we go. Cool.
All right.
All right. So I'm gonna hit screen share and take over and throw it straight to Chrome. And yeah, let me know if you can see what I can see right there. Mike, I think should be able to see just my desktop view of, yeah, the im.academy, which is the main page. I'm sure someone will let me know if you can't, but it looks like on my end that you can. So guys, this evening, I was going to give you a real quick overview. Like I said, we've got some new students here who are going to get a bit of an orientation right now. And at the same time, for anyone who's looking into this, you're going to see exactly what we're utilizing to, yeah, to learn and pretty much earn along the way. So this is website number 1. So the Academy's got 3 pillars to it. If you want to write these things down, I'm going to show you in a second what those are. But pillar number 1 is im.center. And that's where we find all our curriculum and everything, where the pre-recorded videos and content and foundations are that we learn from. So pillar number 1 is im.center. We'll have a look at that. Pillar number 2 is goLIVE. That's where we have our 200 live educators that are live throughout the week and where we can get mentorship from them and questions and answers and watch them trade during the week. And pillar number 3 is all of the apps and scanners that we have access to and all the software. So I'm going to show you those. So this is just from a back-end point of view. When you log in, yeah, just got a few options here to adjust subscriptions and add-ons and etc. But basically up here, we're going to click im.center and that is going to load this page for us. So this is our brilliant CEO, Christopher Terry, professional trader for a couple of decades, started this platform about 9 years ago. And pre-COVID, I believe there was about 80,000 subscribers, and now we've blasted past 400,000 and well on the way to 500,000 at the moment. And the goal and the vision is pretty simple. It's to empower, enrich, and educate the lives of 1 million people. And so, yeah, this brilliant man created this platform, and I'll show you the original scanner that he produced for us later on. But for now, we're going to take a look. So in this menu bar, we've got all these different options. So academies is where we're going to start first. And this is going to load all the different options. So guys, we've got a Forex Academy, which teaches the foundations of Forex trading. And number one, I'll show you this very briefly, but inside of here, there's a course and there's 63 videos in here. It goes through everything foundational. What is Forex? What history of Forex? I mean, 3 minutes long. Some of these are 3 minutes long, 5 minutes long. Some are 40 minutes long. But yeah, market participants, what a broker is. And anyway, it's now starting to enroll me into that, which I've already done. So I'm going to go back. But basically, you get the gist of it. That's in English, and there's these other languages here. And then HFX is high frequency trading. That is something that I'm not going to get into right now. It's another form of trading that's on offer in the academy. And then we also have a full e-commerce academy in there, which teaches everything on. There's about 5 different income streams you can generate inside there with education on how to run Shopify, Amazon, Etsy stores, all that kind of thing. So there's that in there. But what we're going to look at right now is the DCX, which is the Cryptocurrency Academy. So you've got these 2 options right from the get-go. You've got digital currency exchange, which is DCX, and then digital currency leverage. And so starting off with digital currency exchange, I'll define these two for you pretty quickly. But basically in here again, there's about 16, I think, videos well, let's have a look. One of them's got 16 videos. It's probably the leverage one, and I'm going to get it wrong. But once you enroll in these, it's going to have a little handbook, which gives you a little bit of an overview, and then all of this education, which is all pre-recorded. It's there for whenever you want it. You can access it on your phone or on a PC, but a whole lot of helpful videos to understand what exchange trading is. And then going back, there's the option for leverage, and leverage trading has a whole lot of those Forex type of videos in it, because leverage is another form of trading. And so to define those two really quickly, exchange trading, guys, is when you are physically swapping dollars for crypto, when you're going to take whatever dollars you got and you're going to buy Bitcoin or you're going to buy Ethereum. And say you bought some Bitcoin when it was $1,000, which would be a really good day today, and it ramped up to $10,000. So if you bought at that time $1,000 worth, your $1,000 now just did a 10x, and it's now worth 10,000, but it's still in Bitcoin. So what you can do is you could then decide to take that Bitcoin that's run up, like on that chart that Mike showed you, and you can move it over to something called a stable coin, which always holds the value of $1. And so if we see a price run up, we've now increased whatever we initially invested, and then we can move it over to make it safe in anticipation of a potential drop. And so then when price drops, we've still got $10,000 now sitting here, which we can just decide to reinvest when, say, Bitcoin did a pullback to like anywhere around 4,000 or 5,000. And so now we're able to buy double the amount because we've just 10x that value that we started with. So there's a much bigger story inside of what exchange trading looks like when you start getting more advanced, but really it's that premise of we buy low, we sell high, and we ride those waves. And so there's a whole chunk of videos in there on exchange leverage trading, and a whole chunk in here on leverage trading. And leverage trading is what Mike was just talking about, when we are coming to put in buys and sells, and we're compounding an account and building that with interest. And that's an incredible conversation to get into and understand, but there's a full bunch of videos in there. So really, guys, that was pillar number 1. That's im.center. Whole lot of incredible videos in there. Pillar number 2, like I said, is goLIVE. And so I'm going to load that for us here and just see if I can move this out the way so I can see what's going on a bit better. There we go. So goLIVE over here. So guys, this is where all our live education is. Like Mike said, 200 plus educators. These are some of the guys that have got the top views of the week. Crypto Picasso right here, one of the original co-creators of DCX, absolute legend, pro Forex trader for about 4 or 5 years, and then swapped over to doing nothing but day trading Bitcoin and Ethereum for the last 9, almost 10 years. So the guy knows the charts inside out. So inside of here, you've got these different academies: Forex, HFX again, e-commerce, and DCX. So we're going to go look at DCX quick and just give you a view of my favorite version of Netflix. So all these educators, guys, this one guy is on here every day doing onboarding type of calls like what I'm doing right now. And then all these different educators with different specialties. So we've got Nick Gomez down here at the bottom, Metaverse Mondays. He's literally showing people exactly how to walk around the metaverse, how to buy land in the metaverse, how to set up a shop in the metaverse. Incredible tutorials that he's doing and educating people on every single week. He's got a whole NFT thing here once a week. And then he's got these other crypto 101 classes, which sometimes go beyond 101, and he starts calling out some really incredible cryptos at really low values for opportunities to dive in. You've got these guys here, the asset accumulators. That's also all NFT orientated. Then Crypto Picasso again, twice twice a week, breaking down the charts. Curtis Cobain, he's my absolute favorite. Real incredible guy. He started here as a student 5 years ago and got employed, and he is one of the highest viewed educators on the platform. Amazing guy. Jason Brown, one of our company leaders. Corinne, she's from Australia. She does the fast start stuff, and she's got an amazing, you click on anyone's face over here, guys, you're going to see their videos. So I click their favorite section, and you're going to see a whole lot of videos that are perfectly tailor-made to anyone who's brand new. Everything from, start here. I'm doing a version of this video for us really quickly tonight. 7 steps to get started the right way with crypto. Everything from wallets and exchanges to using MT4, which is a platform we use to do leverage trading. Everything, guys. How to multiply your crypto. Just real basic stuff, but real decent chunky videos. And she's on multiple times during the week, and everything gets recorded. So if you miss it live, it doesn't matter. It sits there for a month, and then anything that's worth putting in the favorite section camps there. Then we have got Mr. Mike Sotero up here. He is our DeFi specialist, decentralized finance. That is eventually just going to be called finance one day, when it's just the way that we're all doing finance. I'm convinced of that. Curtis Cobain and Mike Sotero have a joint channel, which is electric. They did it once as a trial one day, and it almost broke goLIVE. They had over 10,000 people trying to get on their calls, and so now they launched a joint channel. They're amazing. Again, other educators here. Sean focuses on the swipe coin scalper. It's one of our algorithms. I'll show you. Anas focuses on the harmonic scanner. And so, yeah, these guys are live every week, and their favorite videos are amazing. I'll show you Curtis, because this is where, if you spend some time in this guy's favorites section, your trading will go through the roof. And so recent ones are there, favorite ones are here. Guys, he's got videos on like amazing mindset videos, because trading is at least 80% mindset. Walkthroughs on MetaMask, which is how we do Ethereum-based token swaps to get the real hard to get cryptos, which are not listed on major exchanges, which is where most people buy crypto. NFT tools, incredible research that's sitting in there. Full class on Cardano, on Polkadot. Again, more NFTs, more DeFi. Then he's got these videos where we tell everybody to start. Priority number 1, mandatory crypto security 101. Guys, we all know plenty of stories of people that have had 5, 10, 20 grand plus worth of crypto stolen from poor security. I have extended family members too, in fact, that have had that story. And so that's where we want everybody to start. I've also taken that video and turned it into a document that I share with everyone in the team, just to make sure everyone can methodically work through those processes, because we want to build wealth that lasts and doesn't get stolen. And more priority videos in there. And then you roll down, and he's got a wealth of info in here, guys. Trend lines, Fibonacci, that might sound like a weird pasta, but it's an incredible way that things grow and expand in life. And if you've heard of the golden ratio, if you haven't, go and Google it. It's a fascinating concept for how things actually grow and expand. And it's exactly the same on the charts. And so he teaches that really well. It's actually far more simple to understand than it sounds. And just a whole lot of videos on what Fibonacci is, what supply and demand zones look like, and just practical tools you can straight away apply to your trading. You spend 10 hours in here, and it will do wonders for your wealth building skills. And so that was goLIVE. I might actually dive back for a second. I'll double back and show the Forex side just quickly. So inside of Forex, there's an educator in here that a lot of us are following by the name of James Leone, and he teaches a strategy called Dynamic Edge. He's been in this space for 17 years, British man, amazing. And his favorite section, guys, he has a boot camp which explains his strategy in 27 minutes. He has made this as simple as possible. And then he's got another 1, 2, 3, 4 videos in here that are an hour. So you got 4.5 hours worth of footage to come in here and completely grasp the fundamentals of his trading strategy. And this is what a lot of the guys in our team are running with. This is how we sit down for an hour and pull money out of the market and go for those percent gains every day. So 4.5 hours worth of education here. Those curriculum videos in im.center for the Forex side, those 63 videos are looking at about 5 hours-ish. So within 10 hours, guys, you could actually get through all the fundamentals, learn a strategy, and start trading on demo within a few days. And then from there, when you're comfortable and when your numbers are right, move over to trading with some real money. So that was goLIVE. Coming back to just this link on the im.center page right here, we're going to go next to the strategies, so the apps and the scanners. This is how you would find them. I've created shortcuts up here. But inside here, we roll down and we're going to see these different shortcuts. So this is where I would click if I wanted the Forex one. The Forex scanner that we're utilizing is inside of pivots, the dynamic edge. But I want to look at DCX right now and show you the brilliance that we get to run with in that space. bear with. I've got one of my kids is awake behind me. That's real life. But yeah, so thankfully my wife is on hand to help out with that. But right now I'm going to jump across to the DCX harmonic scanner, which is the link I've got, which for some reason, I don't know, maybe something's not loading over. Here it is, swipe coin scalper. We'll go there after the harmonic scanner. So guys, this is one of our tools that we utilize. The harmonic scanner is the first tool that Christopher Terry generated for us when he built this academy 9 years ago. And so this might look crazy to you, this pattern, but these patterns are high probability trade ideas that this algorithm picks up for us. So this was one that came through 3 days ago, and they're coming through all the time on different time frames up here. This is a 15-minute chart, which means every candle represents 15 minutes. But basically, because we had a high and a low, and this high and this low and this high, it's very, very likely that price is going to work its way back down to this line down here as a goal. So you can see that these green lines right here were entry zones. So as soon as we had price tick up to this zone at this D, anywhere in here was game for an entry, for a good risk reward trade. Then we've got this zone down here, goal number 1, idea goal number 2. This is where you would take profit or close your trade. There's something crazy like a 70 to 80% strike rate on, I believe, idea number 2. And so you can hold a bit longer and go for idea number 3, which doesn't always hit, but you could leave 10% of your trade on the table for that. And sure enough, we didn't quite get there on that one. And then we had a reversal, but you would have seen that coming for multiple other reasons. Anyway, that's the harmonic scanner. I'll get rid of that. Move over to the swipe coin scalper. This is phenomenal, guys. And we have an educator that focuses on each of these. But you can see right here, this is Bitcoin like right now, live in the moment. I can change my time zone to show wherever we are in the world, but I'm going to go with New Zealand because that's where we are right now. And you can see right there, that is 8 o'clock this evening. That candle's still printing. But you can see that I get text messages on my phone every single time one of these arrows and these signals pops off, which is basically Bitcoin crossing this moving average. And then we have another set of checklists to go through before entering a trade. Just because a signal pops off doesn't mean it's free money. You need to come in here, learn the skill, and double check a few things. But then there are valid reasons. For instance, this breaking above that 50 moving average and then retesting and then rolling back over. And look at this. When it retested, we would have been paying attention. Massive explosion in price, guys. And so this is just one of the scanners that we get to utilize to, take leverage trade ideas or even exchange ideas potentially. And then there's one more, which these guys have put together recently called AltFi. And so inside of AltFi, this is what Curtis Cobain and Mike Cetera have built for us. This includes a whole lot more low cap coins, altcoins that we're able to trade on and that they send us trade ideas for. So right now, this is an idea for Tezos. I don't think there's any other live ones happening in here. There was one the other day, guys, for Luna. And I believe that one was a 20-to-1 risk reward ratio. I mean, you can see here, this was a previous idea, which is already played out. So we would have had alerts already in place in this buy zone in the black box. And this would be our invalidation zone, would be our stop loss. So if price broke lower than here, this is where, if we're risking 2% of our accounts on this trade, if price came down and slammed this blue line, we would have been stopped out. And the worst case scenario is we're losing 2%. As you can see, price did exactly what it should. It came into the zone, tested that bottom line, broke out of the zone, exploded up and hit the scalp zone. And I mean, percentage wise in gains from there, you're looking at, what is that? 23% on that trade alone. So not a bad day, considering that these are just trade ideas that the educators are giving us. You're going to learn how to do this for yourself, but it's the earn while we learn philosophy. So they're giving us these trade ideas that we get to follow. So that's the swipe coin scalper with AltFi. The other scalper I showed before, the original, it's got both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you can look at both of those. And then moving on from there to try and keep us moving a bit faster. Right here, we have got, let me get this right, My Swipe Coin. So guys, this is a website, which is a mirror version of the app that we utilize. So this would look slightly different on your phone, but this is where all our educators communicate with us, exactly what's going on. And like I said, those trade ideas. So we get exchange ideas and leverage ideas. So an exchange idea, for instance, would have been, here's an opportunity to buy some sushi that I believe Mike Cetera sent through a little while ago. Sushi is a decentralized cryptocurrency. It's really low right now from where it used to be. Previous highs in the 20s. It's come right down to $3.27. I've got to buy on this from $2.90. This is going to run. And so you can imagine the risk reward ratio on this kind of a trade. If you can put an entry in down here in this zone, and you could take half off the table when it gets up here to lock some profits. You could lift that stop loss up to make sure that if it slams back down, you're actually not losing anything. You're locking in gains, and you could hold some for the swing zone. So that's my plan with this trade. And that's You could do that for exchange trading or leverage. I've got that one on leverage, but then specific leverage ideas that they send through for us. You've got Ethereum here, Bitcoin here, XRP. Each of the educators send us, yeah, they specialize in different ones. But for instance, Ethereum, that's been boosting lately quite nicely. You can see that we got sent this idea a little while ago when Ethereum was touching down this green box. This green zone would be an entry zone for us anywhere around, it looks like 3338, and that zone would be a buy zone, and then stop loss, bottom line, and then we've got these 3 take profit zones up here to aim for. And so guys, this is just the educator sending us these ideas inside the app, and a lot of us in our team chat as well will have a look at these and confirm them with our own analysis before just diving in. None of this is financial advice. This is stuff that we get to look at, and as we learn, we get to confirm if this is a trade that we want to take. And so yeah, there's videos in here as well on the go that you can look at on your phone or even show someone who's brand new. There's a fast start video. There is some great fundamental videos in here. What is Bitcoin, guys? What is blockchain? What is mining? Just some that sit inside of the app that we're able to use on our phones to help friends and family understand what the space is all about. So that right there was a really, really fast flyover of basically im.center, pillar number 1, which is all the back-end curriculum of everything. goLIVE, which is where all our live education lives, excuse me. And then pillar number 3, where all of our apps and scanners operate. And so last thing I want to show you is the dynamic edge, guys. This is something that I've been utilizing a lot lately. I had an awesome trade the other evening where I had a 1-to-5 risk reward ratio on a trade. And so dynamic edge is built on top of a pivot scanner. And so I just got to come in here and click this button up here to adjust it to the dynamic edge. For those of you guys, new students who are going to be utilizing this. And once this loads, you're going to have some options on the right to choose whatever currency you want to have a look at. So we've got standard Forex pairs over here that you can choose, gold and other commodities. And then I like to look at the NAS 100, which is my one, US Tech 100. This is the one I love the most to run with. And so once you get into this, guys, you're going to understand. I know it looks like spaghetti for some of you right now, but whenever these signals pop off, we've got, a little checklist of a few things where we make sure before we enter a trade, like this is looking to me at a nutshell straight away. Yeah, just awesome things. There's a whole lot of different reasons why to enter this trade and why not. But I like to go up here, double click this, get rid of this, type in BTC, and now I can load a Bitcoin chart inside of the dynamic edge, guys. And so I want to get what is going to be open right now. Let's just check this, see what happens. I want to show you how ahead of the curve we're able to get with some of this stuff. So that's a monthly. I want a daily, and I want to zoom out and show you how we knew what was going to happen with Bitcoin back in November before it dipped. Although this might not allow me, let me get a weekly. It might not allow me to go back far enough right now, but basically you can see these signals. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting it. So check this out. That's a weekly chart. There's a buy signal back there that popped off. Great time to buy. Look at that. Price has never come back to that region once since the 18th of May. Post-COVID dip, buy signal. You could have held that. This is a weekly chart, remember? So I'm going to go to a daily and you're going to see a little more accurate information. But when you get a signal on a weekly, it is going to be a very, very, very strong signal. Something is going a little funny with this weekly, but you get the idea, I imagine, is that you can come in here. I just want to show you a daily. Which one of these has got a day? Let's see if this is going to load for us with a D. There we go. So check this out. So if I go back, here we go, guys. All these different signals in here. There's November. So check this out. If I zoom in, we're right here right now. I'm going to change this time frame quickly to show you New Zealand time. There we go. We're sitting on the 29th of March right there. If I roll back and I look up here, back here in November, guys, as soon as that dot flipped, we had a heads up over there on the 16th of November that price is about to reverse. Sure enough, price then crossed this black line, which we call the middle of the road, and then opened on the other side of it. And then we get a signal right there, guys, at 54,000. Prices already dropped a little bit from 59, but at 54,000, you would have had a very, very good reason to take your gains in Bitcoin and move it into a stable coin before we dropped from 54,000 down to whatever the lowest was. I believe 29 we may have tapped at. So down there, 29,000. So you could have locked in those gains that way. And then potentially over here, green zone. We've got a signal and a very good reason to start paying attention again at 35,000. We've broken some key levels and we've ridden up from 35,000 already up to 43. So already some incredible opportunities right there to go and make another 21% just in the last well, since the 16th of March. So in the last couple of weeks. So guys, that's a dynamic edge. That's just one of the scanners that I love to utilize for in the minute trading, but also you can see it works on a daily time frame even for Bitcoin. But I'm going to unshare my screen and put my face back on here. Stop sharing. And hopefully you guys can see me right now. Let's see, gallery, speaker view. Hopefully you can see my face. But yeah, guys, just want to say a huge thank you for coming to hang out with us this evening. I can see there's some stuff in the chat that I haven't been paying attention to, but there we go. Thanks, Ryan, for the encouragement. But yeah, so this is, guys, this is our family. This is how, like Mike said, I got into this a year ago. I had a friend in Canada who I've known for 20 plus years reach out to me and say, Ty, you need to start paying attention to crypto, and the world is going to know about it pretty soon. You might as well get ahead. And so I decided to dive in. My family, my wife and I, we had our own confirmations that it was time to start paying attention to this world. And so I didn't want to be one of those stories on YouTube of people who dived in randomly and bought the top in November and then rode that painful bleed out to the bottom. So I decided to invest in my education. And so I've been doing that here for the last almost a year. And started with me and my friends, and then my brother, a few of us, and our team since then has exploded. Like Mike said, I don't know. I think somewhere around 80, 90 people based in New Zealand and also all over the planet, because I put a post on social every now and then and someone wants to know how I'm doing it. So yeah, guys, our team's growing rapidly and we're plugged into the source. So if you want to find out more about how this is all structured, there's so many different ways and means you can subscribe to this platform. There's different price packs and different whatever to suit whatever your goals are. I've got quite a big pack because I'm utilizing Forex and DCX, but some guys just want to come in here and plug in a DCX. That's what I did initially. And I went deep into the world of crypto and had an absolute blast finding that out, building my portfolio, then learning how to leverage trade, pivoting over, learning how to trade on the minute with Forex. And then, yeah, guys, having people like Mike decide to join our team and just really run with the vision of IM, because our leaders have got an incredible vision to just help people step into freedom. And most people aren't able to answer that $1 million question of, if money wasn't an option, what would you do with your time? And so I'm full-time pastor and life coach at a church. And so I love helping people figure that out. I love helping people figure out what their dreams are, what their why is. Most often than not, though, they're blocked off by unable to dream outside of those financial restraints. And so I believe we're in a time and season where we're about to experience the greatest wealth transfer of any generation as the fiat currency system moves into crypto. And so a huge opportunity right now to get ahead of that curve. And so that's enough of my voice this evening. But Mike, I'm sure you might have some final thoughts to share with everyone before we let everyone go. But yeah, massive thanks from me. And there we go, Mike, go for it, man. Send us off.
Awesome. Thanks, Ty. Yeah, look, really, as I've followed crypto in the last 5 years, I've definitely seen it's once in a lifetime opportunity for wealth transfer. And, my question is, where do you want to be in 5 years' time? And at the moment, with what's happening with inflation around the world, with what's happening with interest rates going up, what are you doing with your money? And so really, this is the opportunity. This is the time to get involved. And, one thing I learned a while back was, if I want things to change, then I need to change. And if I want things to be better, then I need to be better. And that can only take place through education. So it's when you get exposed to opportunity like this and, get a comprehensive, streamlined, structured education, it opens doors that may have never been opened before to you. So yeah, I really want to say, what are you going to do with it? And if you're interested, then feel free to reach out to the people who invited you along tonight. And once again, we just want to thank you. One last thing, though, is that back when the internet started in the 90s, it was the most revolutionary technology in the history of the world. Okay, the internet, email, amazing. And so we had a huge explosion in people wanting to be in the space. And the entire internet industry was growing at a rate of about 63% a year. Crypto, at exactly the same time in its life cycle, is growing at almost 120% every year. So the crypto industry is actually growing twice as fast as the internet bubble. And the statistics state that within 3 years, 1 billion people will be using crypto on a daily basis. So if you actually follow that through the numbers, it turns out to be at least a 10x in the entire space from here. So it's a great time to get involved. We're still in the infancy stage of this space. And so feel free to reach out if you have any questions. We'd love to answer them. We'd love to connect with you. But once again, thanks so much for spending your evening with us. We appreciate it. And thanks, Ty, for sharing tonight. We appreciate you, everything you're doing. And thanks so much. We'd love to get in touch.
Hey, thanks guys for joining us this evening. Thanks, Michael. Thanks everyone. All our guests, thanks for hanging out with us this evening. And yeah, like Mike said, reach out if you've got any questions. And all you new students in there, we'll see you guys in the chat. We've got our team Zoom launching in 5 minutes for some live trading with Mike. So we'll see you in there soon. This